everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying on a few pieces that I personally picked up from the brand Florasis or Florasis. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. So if you guys know the exact way to say it, let us know in the comment section. This brand has reached out to me in the past wanting to do a partnership, but I declined the partnership because I wanted to go ahead and go on the website, buy the products myself, experience it as a customer, try out the brand, and see if it was a brand that interested me and if it was really worth all the hype before accepting any kind of partnership. So during the Chinese New Year, they were having a sale on their website. So I went on there, picked up a few items, and we're going to be trying them on today. It's not a full face of one brand, but I do have a few pieces to kind of test the water and kind of get me started. I do have some other pieces in their makeup line that I would like to try. So let's go ahead and talk about the brand Florasis or Florasis. This brand was founded in 2017 by the Westlake in Hangzhou, China. Florasis is an innovative makeup brand that drives inspiration from Chinese culture and heritage, giving it a modern interpretation for consumers. Having studied landscape design in school, Florasis founder wanted to create a brand that embraced the balance of art, nature, and science. This is done by incorporating the floral essence and herbal extracts of our traditional recipes and infusing them in a modern formulation using the latest R&D technologies. The result is a line of cosmetics that have the benefits and healing properties of nature encapsulated into a beautiful and skin-nourishing product. Our team wants to use makeup to provide a representation of Eastern beauty, aesthetics, and culture in order to bring a fresh perspective to the beauty space, increasing its diversity and inclusivity to customers. So on this little card that was sent when I ordered, it has 4 products being their iconic products. Number 1 is the Blooming Rouge Love Lipstick. Number 2 is the Floral Engraving Venus Makeup Palette. Number 3 is the Fairy Peach Blossom Ultra Light Setting Powder and Press Powder. And number 4 is the Ginseng Care Lip Balm. So those are kind of their 4 highlighted, like, top selling bestseller products. So as of May of 2022, they have obtained over 140 product patents and also 11 joint flower and plant research bases we dedicate to research about nature and healthy ingredients to integrate into their formulas. As of March 8th of 2022, they have studied more than 60 kinds of flowers and plants. So it seems like a lot of research and dedication is going into the formulas in all of their products. They have also partnered with more than 10 makeup research institutes to develop cutting-edge ingredients and original formulas. I love pretty much everything about that, to be completely honest with you. They're taking their beautiful culture and creating something for everyone to enjoy, which is incredible. And then you have all of the research and dedication that goes into making their formulas and the plants and all of that. It just seems like they've put a lot of thought into their products, not only aesthetically, like looking at the products, but the formulas and their research behind it. So I can appreciate a brand that has a lot of passion behind what they're doing. So the first product I'm going to be featuring in today's video is this palette. This is called the Floral Engraving Beauty Goddess Makeup Palette. And this is one of their newer launches. And when I saw this, I was like, wow, what an absolute beautiful work of art, right? Like, it is absolutely stunning. And the lid just magnetically attaches to that so securely, and it's really, really beautiful. I also have one of the top selling products that I mentioned earlier. This is their Peach Blossom Silk Powder, and I share my thoughts on that. I have one of their lip glosses, which I regret that I did not buy one of their beautiful lipsticks. Like, what was I thinking? You guys, what was I thinking? That is on my list to pick up during my next order because I just don't know what I was thinking not picking that up. Really foolish. I also have this palette, which is the Sculpting Contour Palette. And then I have a blush, and this is the Peony Rosy Blush. Now you can buy these products on their website, and you can also pick them up on Amazon, which is amazing. So all of the links that I share in today's video, I will link them to Amazon. If they're not available on Amazon, I will link them on the website. But it's just a few products to kind of test the waters, see how I feel about it, and that's what we're going to do in today's video. So let's go ahead and jump into the application of these products, and then I will come back and jump into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Brand. First thing I want to talk about is this. It's not written on the package in English. It's in Chinese, which is fine. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. So this is called the Flawless Jade Shine Liquid Lipstick, and I have this in the shade G403. This is more like a lip tint. I put it on. It's more of a lip tint. It's not a terrible color, but I've had it on for probably, I don't know, maybe the last 5 minutes, and my lips feel dry. So something to kind of take note of. I just feel like I need some moisture, so I'm going to put on some of the Laneige lip sleeping mask just to kind of give my lips some moisture. Just wanted to briefly point that out. I went ahead and grabbed this palette, and I kind of regret not grabbing the other one, which I'm going to put a picture of it right up here. That one I think probably would have fit me better, but this is the one that I grabbed. And the pictures online look much darker than they are in real life, just FYI. So this one is, let's see, I have to go back because, you know, everything's written in Chinese, so I have to go back to my order. So this is 02 Sunset, and I'm going to put a picture halfway on the screen of what it looks like on the website, just so that you guys can see that the pictures on the website, it seems to be a little bit darker in color. I don't even know if this is going to show up on my skin. That's the blush. I just don't even know that that is going to work for me, to be honest with you. That's the contour and then the highlight. One of the items that was a part of the free gift is this. And it's a little pouch with these travel-sized brushes. Oh, if I can keep them in my hand. With these travel-sized brushes. And they feel pretty good. They're really beautiful, like the detail on them. So I'll use a few of the brushes, but we're going to pull out this palette. And this is the palette that I was most excited about. So this is the Florasis Floral Engraving Beauty Goddess Makeup Palette. So this is $59. I do have to mention, everything was packaged perfectly. Some of the palettes arrived in these like bubble, these plastic bubble things filled with air. Like it was like a big pillowy air pocket. And I was really impressed with how well it was packaged for shipment. But this is gorgeous. Look how gorgeous the detail is on this. I mean, so then you open it up. You guys, that is one gorgeous looking palette. Seriously. I mean, that is a work of art. Of course, I've seen many images online of this, but seeing it in person, I think the images online just truly don't give it justice. I also find this to be interesting that this is a magnet, which is very unique. Of course, I don't have absolutely anything like this in my collection. I mean, come on, this is pretty incredible. The detail in these embossings, I mean, they are gorgeous. What's also interesting about the embossing is that the engraving is kind of deep. It has some pretty deep like crevices down in there. So it's almost like you might maintain the embossing for a minute. Like it might be something that maintains the structure and the look of the embossing for a while because they're so deep engraved into the actual palette or shadow. So I'm excited. We're gonna play with this palette. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this shade. Okay, so I'm gonna use my finger. Maybe my finger will. It's a gorgeous rose gold shade. That is so pretty. And I managed to not get it all gunked up into my lashes, which is sometimes, sometimes easy to do. Gorgeous though, right? Okay, so I'm going to go into this top shade right here. So I'm going to bring that like right into the inner corner. Oh, it's so pretty. The one thing that I do like about it is that it's not really like it's not a super shimmery as far as like, it's not like, it's more of a sparkly kind of topper. It's just gorgeous. It's like a mixture between a metallic and a topper shade. Now I'm going to just grab a crease brush. Now I'm going to go into this shade right here. So now I'm going to go in with my blending brush and I'm going to grab this shade. This color is so pretty though, you guys. I got to swatch it. I have a couple of shades that are similar to this. One of them from, let's see. This one is very similar to the shade Scarab. It's very similar to this shade right here in Mel's palette. So this is Scarab from Mel's palette. And obviously the one from Mel's palette is much more intense than this one from Florasis or Florasis. I'm not sure if I know how to. So, but they kind of have the same shift, if you will. The one, you can kind of see they kind of are the same thing. I would say the one from Mel's palette with Sydney Grace is just more intense. But they are stunning, and I kind of want to use that shade now. Dang it, you guys. I mean, I could there on the outer corner, right? I could put that. I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm just going to do it. Quit talking about it. Just do it. I'm going to grab a little bit of this shade right here. I'm going to take my finger and see if I can like pop some of that intensity to it. Now I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm going to go into the shade and softly sweep that here into the outer corner. And then I'm going to grab this shade. Kind of carve out the crease with it. And now I'm going to grab a little bit of the dark. The one thing that I can say is that this is a very like softly pigmented palette, meaning that you don't have to worry about getting too much pigment on the brush and then having to work really hard to get it to blend out. Now I'm going to take a smaller brush, a more detailed brush. This is the BK Beauty 210. And I'm going to grab this shade right here and just define this outer corner with it. For the lower lash line, so I'm going to grab a little bit of this, kind of buff that into the lower lash line. Okay, so now I'm going to go into this darker color right here, and I'm going to smudge that into this outer corner. And I think I also want to do that on the upper waterline. So right here at the base of my lashes. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, finish this eye, and finish my eye makeup, and then we'll move on to the few face products that I have. So I'll be right back. Okay, so my lips are drying up fast, you guys. So I had to go ahead and put this sleeping mask back on it again because my lips are like absorbing it. So I don't know. I mean, I've used the lip tints from Dior, the lip tints, the new ones from Rare Beauty. Lip tints can be a little drying, but this one is quite drying. So just FYI. But now that we got the eyes done, I'm going to go ahead and put this lid back on this before I ruin it. And I love how these are strong magnets that attach to this. So it is very well done. Doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. Okay, let's move on to the face. Now, like I mentioned, I do have this face palette right here, but I also have this right here, and I'm going to use this as blush, but this is the Peony Rosy Blush. I think I'm going to first go into this darker shade with a little bit of, like, just to kind of contour the cheek, just to see what it looks like. I'm using the Patrick Ta contour brush. It's like right there. Yeah, this palette is quite light. Just FYI, I don't love powder contour. Powder contour is not my favorite, so I need to preface this entire application by saying I'm not sure what this is. I don't know, because everywhere else it's blending really nice. It's hard to say. It could just be, I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm gonna go on this side. All right, I'm going to leave that there just because I don't want to get too heavy-handed with it. We're going to try the blush just to see if it will work. And you know, I don't know if it's really a blush. Let me look here. Okay, so I was wrong earlier. That is not a blush. That's a highlighter. So that's what I get for not reading it. You know, that's what palettes are. You have the highlighter, blush, and the contour. And I was just assuming that that's what it was. It's still lighter in real life than it is on the images, but this is not a blush. This is a highlighter because this is being described as, so the one that I have, which is number 2, it contains a champagne gold highlighter, a peach gold highlighter, and a milk coffee shade for energized and youthful look. So this is a highlighter and contour palette, not a highlighter blush palette. I do apologize for that. I do like that peachy highlighter though. It's really pretty. I kept thinking, how am I going to wear that as a blush? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this blush right here. And I'm going to kind of put my brush like in between the two shades. Okay, so that is a very, 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 very soft powder. Yeah, see that line right there? I think that might be from sleeping. I don't think it's the makeup. I mean, I'm going to have to calm all this down because I just went a little heavy-handed. But that blush is so soft. Like, such a gorgeous, soft, kind of silky, buttery. You can kind of see that it's quite creamy to the touch. It's like a hybrid. You can kind of see it's creamy, right? Like, it's creamy to the touch. It feels creamy to the touch. You can see it sitting there on my finger. And then yeah, that's a creamy blush. No wonder it's super silky and easy to apply, because that is a very creamy, it's a hybrid. It's a cream / powdery. So it's kind of in the middle. It's creamy to the touch, but applies more like a powder. It's gorgeous so far. I mean, that is a beautiful blush. Let's put on the highlighter now. I mean, now that I finally got it right, I apologize for that mess up, you guys. So I'm going to grab a little bit. Actually, I'm going to put that peachy highlighter. Ooh, right? Okay, so that I need to powder, but that peachy highlighter is so soft. So soft on the skin. So we're gonna powder. I'm gonna grab this. This is the one I definitely wanted to grab. This is the Flawless Jade Breathable Pressed Powder. And I got this in the Fairy Peach Blossom edition. They have one that's a little bit fancier than this one. You can kind of see how it has that design there on the lid. And then you open it up. Again, very well packaged. It has this really nice powder puff. And then this is the powder, but it's so light that I just don't know if my camera is going to pull this up. Cameras don't really like these colors. You guys, can you hear that? Here, listen to this. Listen. It feels so light to the touch. Okay, so I got to read the description on this. So this is a translucent shimmer giving the complexion a sheer and translucent look. The upgraded Porch Window Edition boasts a thinner and lighter design for oil-free and longer-lasting makeup. It's silky smooth, containing silk powder and featuring particles sized 5 to 10 microns. The finely ground powder gives your skin a delicate and smooth touch, which that's what you're feeling. When you're putting your finger into it, it's so silky and crazy finely milled, like ridiculous, like really finely milled. Oil-free and long-lasting makeup. The recipe is enriched with 30% oil control powder to reduce sheen and keep your makeup fresh and defined throughout the day. So it has the little powder puff, and I think I might try the powder puff. Why not? Powder puff is like a velvety powder pouch. It has like that velvet touch to it. Okay, I definitely don't like the way it looks on my chin right there. It just exaggerated. See how it just made my makeup look really gross right there? Can you see that? It made it look really makeup-y and patchy where see, you can see that, right? Like I could see it through my monitor. Okay, so it does look okay over pores. It does. The one thing I do want to try is my brush that I typically use. So I'm going to use the Wayne Goss airbrush, I think is what it's called. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of this powder. Let's see if it makes this look makeup-y, because if it went on the chin with the powder puff and made it look that gross, it might do the same thing right here on the center. Yeah, I don't love this powder. So this powder reminds me of the powder from By Terry. If you guys are familiar with that powder, I think it's called actually I have it, hold on. This is the Hyaluronic Hydra powder, and this is the translucent one. And this powder, every single time I put it on, it immediately makes me look makeup-y, and it makes my makeup look a little crusty. And because it's so finely milled, that when you put it over top of foundation, it just attaches in a weird way. And plus, I don't like the filling of it. So it kind of gives me the ibby-jibbies. It's just so finely milled in this powder form. Plus, it's a mess. The packaging is a flippin' mess. I hate this powder. See how messy it is? Like, it's all just kind of like sitting down in there. And you open it up and powder goes everywhere. I do not like this powder. I know that a lot of people love it. I'm just not one of them. And I don't like the texture of it. The feeling of it just kind of, I'd say this powder is very similar to that. It's just in a pressed form. I like the powder to kind of smooth out the skin and kind of, you know, get rid of some of the shine in certain areas. Because, you know, the foundation I'm wearing is the Tom Ford stick foundation, the Traceless stick in 6.5 stable. So that one does kind of have a little bit of that shine. So I like to add a little bit of powder to kind of combat some of the shine right there in the center, but it still looks really beautiful throughout the day. But this powder immediately gunked up my makeup. In my experience, powders that are super finely milled, they just do that to me, especially over texture, wrinkles, stuff like that. These powders look really beautiful over pores, but not over texture. I feel like I need some bronzer because that contour palette just doesn't do it for me. I just feel like I need some structure to the face. So I'm gonna grab the Hermes bronzer. This is in Sahara, 03 Sahara. Let's go ahead and jump into my final thoughts. I'm going to first start with the palette because I do think that's kind of the star of the show. This palette is stunning. On every level, this palette is beautiful. The attention to detail in this palette is just incredible. Overall, this palette is a 5 out of 5. If you're a collector of makeup, I think you'll love this. If you're not, I think you would enjoy it anyway. It's just a gorgeous palette, just superb quality, no issues, gorgeous, blends beautifully. Well done. Let's talk about the contour palette. So this is the one that I kind of wish that I would have got this palette. Again, I don't know what it's called, but my next order, I plan to grab this palette. I don't really think that there's anything wrong with the formulas in this palette. It's just a little bit too light for my complexion, although this peachy highlighter is stunning. And I also like that it's not too overwhelming on the face, so it doesn't exaggerate. It's a really nice light highlighter in that regard, where you can kind of put it over those wrinkles on those crow's feet. It's just a little softer and not too intense on those areas. So I do appreciate how the formula's blended. I just, you know, kind of regret getting this one instead of that one. So that will be my next purchase. Now, I think I pretty much told you guys how I feel about the powder. The powder is not my favorite, and I'm sure you guys can see why. It's just, it really, really did not work well over my makeup, especially that I'm wearing today. But I will continue to use this, and I will use it over other foundations because you just never know when it comes to setting powder. It might be the foundation that you're wearing that they just don't work well together, right? So I will continue to wear it, but as of now, I'm kind of willing to bet that this is going to be a no-go no matter what I pair it with. Like, it's just one of those powders. I don't think my feelings will change on it. Now, the blush I think is stunning. I really like that it surprised me by being kind of that hybrid with the cream and powder, because this was all first impression, opening it all up and looking at it with you guys. And it's a really nice formula. It is really easy to use, and I enjoyed it. And the packaging is stunning. Like, I love, these are my colors. Like, I love these colors. All of their packaging is beautiful, but I really do love the way that this looks, and I enjoyed it. Now, as far as the lip gloss, I'm not going to call it a lip gloss because I personally don't think it's a gloss. It's definitely more of a lip tint. I'm going to definitely pass on this because it for sure dried my lips out. Now, I'm not saying that it's, you know, because they take so much pride in their formulas, there might have been something in the formula, like maybe a natural ingredient, that just didn't work well with my lips. You just never know, right? So with that said, for me, it was on the drying side, so I don't plan to use this anymore. Overall, the brand is very surprising, and I think the quality is there. So even though there were products that I didn't personally like, I still feel like the overall quality of the brand is more luxurious. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels more luxurious. And when you're applying these really soft powders and the eyeshadows and stuff, overall, I am impressed with the brand, which was the reason why I didn't want to accept the partnership, because I wanted to try these products all on my own and keep my thoughts my own. And I am glad I did it that route, because now that I've kind of been introduced to the brand, I'm more excited to buy more products from the brand. And so for me, I'm kind of impressed by it, to be completely honest with you. Being this is a first impression video, I'm impressed, and I'm surprised, because I kind of went into this thinking that it was kind of an overhyped product. And this was my thoughts. I was thinking it was going to be one of those brands that they put so much time into the look of it that the products were just going to be, not so good, right? That is not the case. The formula is just as good as it looks. And so I'm impressed with it. So at the end of the day, it is a nice brand, and now it's made me more curious to buy more products and test them out. So those are my overall thoughts. Sound off down below. How many of you guys have tried out this brand? What products have you bought? And do you love them or do you not? Share with us in the comment section down below. You guys always have, like I've always said, you guys always have the best recommendations. So I'm so curious to hear. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.